Flint, Michigan was the mecca of bad drinking water after it was discovered that individuals living in that community were consuming lead. But it turns out that drinking water is a huge problem in other municipalities throughout the country. Now, East Chicago, Indiana is no exception. There are reports that people living in public housing in that area had to deal with extreme levels of lead in their soil. And it wasn't until recently that the EPA decided to do something about it. Now, thankfully, we have our own field reporter, Jordan Cheriton, going to that community and speaking to the individuals living there about what they've experienced. Take a look.
This neighborhood was built in '72. 44 years ago. It was known to be built on a lead smeltering plant or several lead smeltering plants and other heavy metals. So they knew that there were going to be potential issues here. Why they've prioritized testing to the community 4 decades later is a real issue. What's normal in this region is about 200 parts per million. What triggers a cleanup based on EPA's regulations is 400 parts per million. And what we're seeing is as high as 91,000 parts per million at the 2-foot level. And they just haven't seen levels this high anywhere in the country.
I was downstate at the time in Indianapolis concerning some legislative matters and everything. And then I got a call indicating that the residents here got letters from the mayor saying that they've got anywhere between 30 and 90 days to vacate the premises, leave because of the dangerousness of the lead and arsenic within the dirt area of the property, and they had to move.
EPA right now is designing a plan, by the way, of how to go in some of these homes and clean furniture, countertop, tell you if you need to throw these clothes out, this couch out, that kind of thing. This is really catastrophic.
We had no idea what we were living in. I've been out here since 2004, and I didn't have any idea that, the lead was as bad as it was in our units and in our homes as well. I had a surgery in 2005, which led to me being diagnosed with in 2006 with a rheumatoid because I wasn't getting any better after surgery.
And the surgery was on what?
I had a complete hysterectomy at the age of 29.
But before you moved here, I'm trying to understand, were you having any health issues?
I never was sick a day in my life until I moved out here.
Hysterectomy at the age of 29. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, look, it's not just anecdotal. They're testing the soil, and the soil is coming up, as that guy explained, incredibly toxic with the lead. Lead is super dangerous. There's a theory out there that the lead in the air is what caused crime to spike in the 1970s. And it used to not just be in the paint, which it was, but also used to come more out of the cars. Now, it's not a theory that lead is very dangerous. That's a fact.
It is a fact.
The theory is that it was so dangerous that increased levels of lead in the air led to increased violence throughout the country for an extended period of time. And once we literally got the lead out and reduced the level of lead in the cars and in the paint, et cetera, then crime started to drop. Now, again, that could be one of many factors in that situation, but everybody acknowledges that lead is very, very dangerous. When you build on top of former lead plants, smeltering plants, well, of course you're going to have of course you should be careful, really, really careful. That's a very dangerous place to build on top of.
I know, it's insane. And look, first, I want to say before I comment more on this story, that video was just a snippet of the work that Jordan Cheriton did, and I want you guys to check out the full video. It's about 6 minutes long on our TYT Politics page. And also, it's the first of a 2-part series. In the second part of the video, you're going to hear from State Senator Lonnie Randolph discuss his communications with the office of Governor Mike Pence. Also, Jordan interviews Brad Benning, who's the on-scene coordinator of the EPA Region 5. So he talks to a lot of high-level officials that have a lot of good insight on this story. And again, look, I don't want you guys to think that this is an isolated case. We're obviously having problems with lead throughout the country. We're having problems with contaminated drinking water. And as you can see in that video alone, it disproportionately impacts certain groups of people, right? Mm-hmm. And by the way, Cenk, to your comment about how we know that lead is dangerous, Think Progress did a really good detailed report on this. And they say if exposed to lead at a young age, children can be left with severe brain damage, resulting in irreversible mental disorders, seizures, behavioral disorders like ADHD, and stunted educational growth.
This is partly how the poor get stuck in a vicious cycle. So they're usually not building Beverly Hills on top of former lead plants, right? And so and they put the poor there, and then they get afflicted by all these different developmental issues, and then they say, well, you see how they are. That's because you put their house on top of toxic material. So, and look, that's just this one particular case. Obviously, there's many different issues and disadvantages that the poor wind up having in the country. But here, this is at least a problem we have identified, and I'm hoping that we can fix. But part of fixing it includes putting a spotlight on it. So a ton of news, as there should be, about Flint, Michigan, but not enough coverage of what's happening here in Indiana. And by the way, as Anna pointed out, governor of Indiana, it's not like it's not a relevant person. It's Mike Pence running for vice president. If you put pressure on him at a moment like this, he might actually be motivated to do something about it. You know, the Young Turks has a whole 2-hour show every single day, and you can get it ad-free if you're a member. tytnetwork.com/join. Go.